Huh? I'm MelodicMic.
And I'm Anita K.
And this is the Mac Show.
Yes.
On this episode, we talk about how to deal with rejection.
A tough topic.
That many of us have gone through over and over and over and over. Well, maybe not her, but me. Over again.
We've got some answers. Stay tuned.
I'm here. I'm sorry I'm late.
Hey, Melodic.
I'm
Come on
here.
in.
Sorry.
How are you?
Sorry, just dealing with this
Great
situation.
to see you. Really? What situation?
So this girl that I was talking to thought that she was potentially the one.
I see.
She just
That's
texted
exciting.
me. Well, she just texted me over
Okay.
text and said that she's done.
What?
Done.
I'm so sorry.
Over text?
Not cool at all. I'm so sorry, Melodic. How are you feeling?
No. I thought she was the one.
I'm so sorry.
No, I'm joking. That's.
Well, I'm glad you had that attitude.
Confidence. I need a
Absolutely.
lady with confidence and conviction.
Absolutely.
And if she doesn't have that to tell me in person, that's not the type of girl I want.
I'm so glad you feel that way. I'm so glad you believe that.
Have you ever been through something like
I
this?
have. Unfortunately, I have. And I really have gone through that more than once.
Wow.
And more than recently. And as a result, overcoming rejection is tough. But I think there's three main things that I incorporate in my life that I think I want to share with you that'll really help.
Okay. Maybe I'll be able to give you like a guy's perspective when it comes to that.
I need a guy's perspective.
All right.
But right now I need a lady's perspective. So number one, own it.
Own it.
You've got to own it.
Okay.
You've got to own it and you've got to accept it. You've really got to feel that you really understand the matter at hand and what just happened.
Right.
And you're probably going to think this is a little different, but I really feel rejection is an opportunity to thank and receive. If we don't have rejection, we cannot grow.
Right.
So you just grew, my friend. You just grew. So I can tell you've already experienced that thanking and receiving, but number one, absolutely own it. Without not owning it, we can't cultivate through the issues and we can't move forward with it.
Got it.
How does that sound?
It makes sense.
Okay.
And I think, you know what, when we think about it in a context where it's relatable,
Absolutely.
everybody goes through a rejection.
We have to go through rejection.
Right. And the learning, the life experiences, and just growing from that is very important. And I
It's
think,
imperative.
Yeah. And I think a lot of people just have this fear that they take with rejection where it's like they don't grow from it.
Absolutely.
And I want to make sure that when we discuss this on our show here, that you understand
Absolutely.
it's part of life. And
It
it's
is.
okay. You're not going to be perfect for every single person in this world. And that's
Absolutely.
one of the things I realized.
I agree. And I think the second point that's really hit home for me is thinking in that law of attraction mentality. Really, really important.
Attraction.
As soon as you really have gotten through the step of owning it,
Right.
receiving it, and thanking yourself and thanking the other person indirectly that you're about to make a shift in your thought process and how you're moving forward, think about the law of attraction. Really, really decide what you want to tell yourself and what this means to you. And you have a second chance to redesign your thought process, redesign your goals for relationships or in any area of your life, and how we can put those steps to definitely move forward. So making a choice to redesign, thinking about the law of attraction.
I do want to ask something, though.
Okay.
Okay, so I was rejected by a girl. Now, do they go ahead and reject? But through email, through text, have you been through that part?
I have. I remember a really critical moment, very sad, where I almost married somebody. I got real close. Real close.
Almost.
And after X amount of time, things probably weren't going to be going to that level of entity. And as a result, I got broken over after all that through text and email.
How long do you mind asking? How long?
I was probably in the relationship for about a year. And so, communication was one of my core values. That's
Yes.
really important to me in a relationship. What was I thinking? How could I pick someone that couldn't communicate?
Right.
But he couldn't communicate bad news. He can communicate good news, and I can receive good news.
Right.
But he didn't know how to communicate bad news. And sometimes there's a difference. Is there a difference or isn't there a difference? I don't know. What do you think?
I think communication is huge. And to be able to communicate the message of, when you're not on the same wavelength and It's important because
is.
that's your value.
Absolutely.
And if it's not coinciding with what you believe, then
Absolutely.
you have to address it.
You have to address
How do you move forward in a relationship if you don't address, you know, the things
Absolutely.
that may rock your relationship, or you guys have difference of opinions on things?
Absolutely.
So
what I did is when
Yeah.
I read my text and I referenced my email, I immediately felt the moment. I immediately felt the shock. I immediately felt the anger, the resentment, the being in that victim boat, and how could this happen to me, and how could someone do that to me? And that took that took a real blow, but I had to experience it, and I knew I had to experience it. I didn't wish it away. I welcomed it, and I knew that this must be happening for a bigger reason, and I just have to be in the now, and I really have to own it. So I did.
And you know what? Owning it is probably the biggest percentage of how you're going to move forward in life. If it's just like being afraid to do something that you've never done before.
Absolutely.
You won't know it until you
won't
do
know.
it, and therefore put yourself out there, right?
Absolutely.
So don't. I just feel as rejection is part of life, and I feel as though, you know, when you, I'm just going to go a little personal right now. As many times I've been rejected in life by ladies, as it's always been a learning lesson, and you just grow thicker skin, you know, and you just learn more about yourself and what fine tunes who you want in your life. I think that's the most important thing.
And I think that goes right with the theme of law of attraction. So basically what I did after I was working through my moments is I really redesigned my thought process under that law of attraction theory, philosophy, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
And I told myself I had different inner conversations with myself. It wasn't about me. I put the focus back on me and what I needed to do, and excused, you know, his actions, and stopped focusing on him and why. I knew I wasn't going to get the answers. I tried and I failed. So then I had to make a detour, and the next best thing I could have done was to put the focus back on me. How did I do that? Having inner conversations with myself,
Right.
and then focusing on my growth and putting an action plan together. Yes, an action plan for relationships.
Wait,
an action plan to turn around rejection.
Wow.
It's simple. For me, and for you, it might be something different.
Okay.
But for me, it was things like taking care of myself, journaling, reflecting,
Okay.
and not going back and with my habitual state of mind and beating myself up and saying, woe is me, I'm not wanted. So instead of doing that, I focused on my growth and put some actions into place on how I could not be harmful to myself mentally, emotionally, but to really focus on how I wanted to move forward, and then go find the tools to do it.
I think one of the biggest things for me as a man is owning it, like you said previously, but learning, and don't be so hard on yourself. Again, going back to knowing the fact that you're not going to be perfect for everybody out there.
Absolutely
It
not.
only takes one person.
Just one.
Just one.
Just one.
To be the way you, with you, right? And I think it's just so important that people don't beat themselves down. If you get rejected, it didn't work out. Okay, time to move on. You know, you'll get over it. It hurts, you know, whatever. But it's temporary. The pain is temporary. You just need to realize something, that don't beat yourself down and continue progressing forward, because the right person, it's only the right person, not the right people that you want in your life. So it only takes one.
So keep that in mind. Take an action item and be really good to yourself. The minute you focus on you and don't focus on others and how you can move forward with any area of your life, especially rejection, enjoy that path and start receiving the gifts. And that means good, new, improved relationships.
And as we speak about that, look, now she's texting me again.
See you soon. Wow.